So Australia are 2-0 up in the Ashes, and England, they're under a huge amount of pressure. But I'm not going to walk you through the scoreboard. You've seen the highlights, you've seen the headlines. Instead, I'm going to take you through a mindset review of the second test. And I want to look at two themes that matter for any cricketer at any level. The first is adaptability versus stubbornness. And the second is words versus actions, particularly around this idea of being where your feet are. So let's start with adaptability versus stubbornness. England have a very clear identity. They play positive cricket, they're aggressive with the bat, they take the game on. As a starting point, that's a real strength. Clarity is powerful. But there's a difference between having a strong identity and getting trapped by that identity. And what we're seeing from England in this series is the danger of feeling like you have to stick to plan A even when the game is screaming out for plan B. Australia, by contrast, well, they look comfortable making adjustments when needed, nudging the bowling lengths, tightening the fields, changing the tempo when they're batting, without losing their core style. And that's what adaptability looks like for high-performing teams. It's not about throwing away your identity or playing a completely different style of cricket. It's about being willing and able to change your approach to what's in front of you. And for any player, this is a huge lesson. It's brilliant to know what your natural game is, and how you like to play. But the danger is when this becomes, I need to play like this all the time in every situation. The best players, they don't abandon their strengths. They have the ability to flex them, ball by ball, over by over, session by session. And the second theme is words versus actions. Over the last 4 years, we've heard a lot from this England management about this Ashes tour being a long-term project and doing everything possible to be ready for Australia. But at the same time, one of the key phrases you also hear from the England camp is, be where your feet are. In other words, be present, stay in the moment, and adjust what's right in front of you. On paper, it's a sound philosophy, but the issue isn't the philosophy. It's the tension between where your feet are and being too focused on a long-term plan. On one side of that tension, the Ashes has been talked about as a huge legacy-defining goal for 4 years. On the other side, the message is be present, be free, respond to the here and now. But when you pour that much story, that much planning, that much emotional energy into one particular series, it narrows your thinking. The pressure can easily mount, and this makes it much harder to stay adaptable in the moment. And that's where words versus actions become a really powerful lens. If your slogan is be where your feet are, but most of your attention is wrapped up in a narrative that's 4 years in the making, are you really present? If you talk about being fearless and free, but then tighten up when the heat comes on, are your actions matching your messaging? It's a classic high-performance trap. You set a huge long-term goal, you talk about it a lot, and without realising it, you drift away from the simple daily behaviours that actually get you there. For a young player, it might look like this. You tell people you want to play for your county. You post about playing with freedom and backing yourself. But then most of your energy is on selection, on scores, on rankings, on other people's opinions, not on how you train this week or how you respond to pressure in your next game. Big goals are fine. In fact, they can be really helpful. But the only place you can actually do anything is in the here and now. This net, this fitness session, this game. The challenge is to make sure that your behaviours, your preparation and your in-game decisions line up with the things that you truly value. So how do you use all this in your own cricket, whether you're playing for your school or for your local club or wherever you play? Well, here's a few questions to work out this winter. 1. Identity and flexibility. What's your natural way of playing when you're at your best? And in what situations do you need to adapt instead of just doggedly sticking to plan A? 2. Words and actions. How would you describe yourself as a cricketer? Are you brave, calm, hard-working, team first? And if someone watched you playing under pressure, would they see that? Or would they see something different? 3. Feet and future. It's fine to have big dreams, selection, contracts, representative honours, but what does being where my feet are actually look like today? Maybe it's one really focused net, or a post-session review, or turning up to training with a clear intention rather than just going through the motions. If you watch my review of the first Ashes test, you'll know that it's never just about technique. It's about how players and teams think, prepare, and respond when things get messy. So if you're a cricketer or you're supporting a young player and you want to make the most of your potential this winter, head over to Cricket Mind Online to learn how we help players build a stronger, more adaptable mindset so that when your season starts, you can play the way you picture it. Thanks for watching.